All right, so hi. Welcome to another live Q&A session. We're doing this for the foreseeable future. They're going to be on Wednesdays at noon, and we might try to bump them up to 11 when we can. But all right, let's dive into it. First off, thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you for your patience over the past few months as we postponed live Q&As so that I could get to work on prepping Molo9 for funding and learning the new computer programming language so that we could have some serious updates and upgrades to Molo9's user experience and user interface. For starters, there's a weird sound behind me, and that's because some of you know I got a puppy and you asked if I could bring her to the live Q&A session, so I'm just going to show her to you really quick, and then I'm going to dismiss her. Wait. Okay, good. Nakita, boy. This is Nakita. Wait. She is a 7-month-old Belgian Shepherd Malinois. They're supposed to be gold and black. She came out for the most part black, but yes, and it is a female puppy, even though she has a Russian boy's name, because my husband loved this James Bond movie with a woman named Nakita. So, okay, I'm gonna let her go back to chewing on her bone on the floor. All right, usually she's not allowed in the office, so today she's like, what's going on? Anyways, so that was the first question you guys had, was, can you see the puppy? Next question was, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them into the Telegram group. Otherwise, I'm just going to go through the list that I have. The few lists from you guys. It was about the Growth Hacking Mastermind group. So there are going to be two ways. Oh, shit, triggered my glasses. There are going to be two ways that you can get into that group. One is paying the annual entrance fee. And we will only allow 30 people into that growth hacking group that are paying the fee, simply because growth hacks are like magic tricks. I found that when I publish a growth hack that's working really well for me, like 10,000 RX, 100,000 return on my investment, it's getting me like 1,000% growth or 100,000% growth, like the very amazing growth hacks. When I share them, if I share them to a public forum, they stop working within a couple of days. If I share them to a private forum with just like a handful of friends, they usually work and they're effective for anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months. I have one growth hack right now that I've actually shared with the Molo9 community, and it's been very effective for the past year. So because of that, we just want to keep the top like black hat, gray hat growth hacks available to a very small group that's actually going to be using them, and they will not be part of, they never were advertised to be, and they will not be part of the Molo9 core software, simply because I have been informed that some of you guys take the content that you find on Molo9 and you share it elsewhere, which is totally fine. You pay for it, you share it elsewhere. But with the growth hacks, we do want to make sure that those are really just for Molo9 community members, mainly you agency owners who are going to be implementing them with your clients. Because that's the goal here, is to give you guys the equipment you need to do well for your clients. It's not to put content out there that's going to be reshared 50 times over and sabotage the ability of you Molo9 community members to be able to implement it. So for those of you who are interested in the Growth Hacking Mastermind group, it'll be an annual subscription. We're going to keep it very, very easy, around the $1,000 mark. We will open 30 seats for that, and you can either get into that group by paying the annual fee, or you can get into that group by writing into the group. So the way that works is, if you want to write onto the group, you have to send, you can respond to the emails that we send. That'll go right to the Molo9 team. They'll be able to filter through whatever you recommend. Send 2 or 3 growth hacks that you're using right now that are getting you really great ROI. We'll take a look at those and see if those are growth hacks that are of the caliber that are going to be shared in the growth hacking mastermind group. And if they are, you'll be admitted into the group for free. The deal is once a month, you have to share a growth hack that's of that very high caliber. If you don't, then you will be dismissed from the group, and you can reapply for the next year, or you can buy in the next year. We are keeping it small. We are keeping it strict. We are keeping the quality very high for that. Okay, next. Some of you purchased, we had an AppSumo, we had a partnership with AppSumo. Well, actually, technically we still do. We had it in the winter and spring of this year, where we launched a lifetime deal with AppSumo. That, based on all of your feedback, Molo9 software offerings and the packages and plans have changed a lot. So what you guys purchased, it falls kind of between two packages, two of the current subscription options on Molo9 right now. So I just wanted to answer any questions that you have about that. You can drop them into Telegram. Otherwise, I'm going to just go through the questions that you guys sent to me via email. One is, we now have 3 packages. Let me do this. Let's see, this is going to look like a mess for a second. Okay. There we go. I'm going to share my screen, so this is, I think, easier to follow along with. Okay, let me know if you cannot hear the audio. Just message me on Telegram, but because I'm switching to sharing my screen instead of you seeing my face. But we have 3 packages right now. We have agencies, brands, and startups. Brands, this AppSumo just asked if we would offer something for them, for their community, for Black Friday. And this is what we've proposed to them. We're going to give a lifetime deal or an annual pass to the brands option, which is the middle tier subscription, $41 per month. And then you have all of these things. The biggest thing that they don't have is, this is not done correctly. The project templates. The brands do not have access to the project management portal at all. I don't know why that didn't sync here. All right, the only ones who have access to the project management portal are those with the agency subscription, and those of you who purchased the AppSumo lifetime deal in between January and May of 2021. Anyone else does not have access to the project management portal. The reason for that is that over the past, the project management portal wasn't even part of the lifetime deal. When we started AppSumo, because it wasn't part of the software, I integrated that later, like halfway through the AppSumo campaign. But a lot of you are asked for this, and we built it based on your feedback. So I feel like it's only fair, since your feedback helped me to build it into what it is, to continue to give you guys access to that. So if you are, we're calling you the legacy AppSumo subscribers. If you are a legacy AppSumo subscriber, you have access to the project management portal. If you are not, then the only way you get it is with the agency's plan. The project management portal, that is like the most expensive for us on the back end, on the server side of things. It's one of the more expensive features that we currently have. So that's why we're not offering it to the brands, and that's why you see the huge price difference between agencies and brands, with one having access to the project management portal and the other not. All right, next, what was it? Answer all the questions that are on there. Answer the growth hacking mastermind. Gets asked a lot of questions this weekend. Oh, okay. The friends and family. So we are partnering with WeFunder. It is a crowdfunding platform to do our friends and family round. We have to say that it's testing the waters, because basically what happens is, and a lot of startups encounter this, and this is why we went with WeFunder. They find that when a startup is growing as fast as Molo9 is, where we grew more than 26,000% in the past year, friends and family say that they want to invest in the company. And they don't exactly understand everything around investing in startups, or they kind of want to throw $100 into it and don't realize that that doesn't even cover the legal paperwork needed for a startup to do crowdfunding under U.S. regulations, laws and regulations. So WeFunder allows you to throw up a page on their platform, partner with them, and see if people actually want it, that have asked if they can invest, if they want to, really do want to invest, and how much they want to invest. Nakita, no. This is the curious puppy. Let me go back to my face. Sorry, I just realized I'm still on this. Nikita's curious about what we have on my desk. So with WeFunder, we have the campaign up on WeFunder. If we meet the minimum threshold, they will move forward and release. Everyone can kind of reserve a seat to invest in Molo9's round at this point, but you don't put money into it yet, and it doesn't go to Molo9 until we meet the minimum threshold on WeFunder. Once we meet that, then WeFunder handles all the legal paperwork to get everything processed so that you can actually invest in that round via the WeFunder platform. With this, Molo9 cannot, it's now Molo9 Incorporated, cannot take any cash directly from you if you're interested in buying shares or stock in Molo9. You have to go through the WeFunder platform. I know it's a headache to have all this crazy legal process, but because we're a C corporation in the United States, we do have to toe the line with the SEC and the IRS and all of those other government agencies that make sure that everything stays kosher, is fair, basically. So if you sign up on the WeFunder platform, it is first come, first serve. We are only allowed to raise a certain amount. Once we pass the threshold, if we get to the highest amount we're allowed to raise in this friends and family round, it will stop. So it'll allow you to reserve a seat in case someone else drops out. But if you reserve a seat and other people who reserved earlier than you put more in to get us to that cap that we're allowed to hit, you will not be able to participate in this round. We are only doing one crowdfunding round with crowdfunding. All future rounds, just because of U.S. laws and regulation, they have to be with accredited investors, so venture capitalists, angel investors, institutions, things like that. If you have any questions about how it works, you can go to WeFunder. They have a really good support team that is pretty quick to answer questions, usually within 72 hours, 3 business days. Otherwise, you can ask me via Telegram or on LinkedIn. Okay. Oh, and then the last thing was, can you participate in this family and friends round if you are not American? The answer is yes. I literally spent 2 months in this hiatus of me not doing live Q&As. I spent 2 months going through all this crazy legal paperwork and whatnot with all like lawyers and tomes of books and documents to make it so that we are set up as the type of corporation in the U.S. that is allowed to have non-U.S. shareholders and stockholders. So yes, if you can access the WeFunder platform and they accept your ID, which means they accept whichever country you're in, then yes, you should have no issues with WeFunder with participating in this. WeFunder is very familiar with all the crazy laws and regulations around this in the US. So if in doubt, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to them and ask them whether or not your country's included in the list that's allowed to participate in this. Okay, next. You had questions about funding, you had questions about the growth thing, you had questions about, Usually wear contacts, but I can't right now. We entered the project portal. We are, okay, so I updated the launch playbook. And as you can see, it went from being like a quick playbook we had when we launched last year to being more than 120 pages, just based on some of the questions that I received as people were reading through the playbook. Some of the checklists I was asked to integrate into the playbook. Because of this, I sent it to a few of you to look at, a few of you who signed up to be beta testers to look at, and you all agreed that this cannot be a PDF, it needs to be a masterclass. So that's how we're going to roll it out. We do still have PDFs in the project management portal. Let me show you that right now. Let's see. My account. So if you go to Learn, and then you go Workbooks, Checklists, and it always lags when I'm trying to stream and show you guys at the same time. Okay, so all of these are PDFs that you can download. What I'm doing with the masterclasses is, this is a lot of content, and if you're like me and you prefer to read offline instead of on your screen, I've set it on the back end so that you can print the pages. So if there's a particularly long process that I walk you through, you can print it off. There are some processes that I go through in the launch playbook. Puppy's getting very hyper. This is why she's never allowed in the office. If there are some processes that I go through in the launch playbook that I've been told are a little bit more complicated than a non-marketer is prepared to implement. So I put together outsourcing briefs. She's trying to steer, let's see. Here's an example of one. The quick guide to outsourcing and development of your first website. This is one of the first things I cover in the launch playbook. This is now set up. I'm not going to show you too much of it just because this is streamed for everyone to see, and this content really is supposed to be a competitive advantage for Molo9 subscribers, not for the general public. But you will literally download this, and I even have the instructions right here. Copy and paste this job description into your Upwork job post. Replace all of the hash marks with your own information. So you literally can copy the job description, exactly what's supposed to be done with the job description, everything, replace the hash marks, you hand that to a web developer, let them take care of it. If it's something that's confusing to you. If you're going through the launch masterclass, or now it's going to be a masterclass instead of a playbook, if you're going through the launch masterclass and you have questions about some of the processes in there and you want to outsource, you can just click the feedback experience, share your experience. I need the checklist to outsource this. What that will do is, here we go, drop your email in and click send. That will automatically send it to us, and it'll tell us which page you were on so that I can know which process or recommendation you need a checklist for. That's literally how all the content has been made on Molo9, is based on feedback from you guys, based on you telling me, hey, this is my industry, business model, KPIs. I need more recommendations for SEO. I need more recommendations for increasing lifetime value, things like that. So that's how we've been populating the database. As you can see behind me, there are a lot of books. If you notice any book that's, if you notice any book that's like a notebook looking thing, those are all, not all, those are that's the majority of my playbooks for marketing. So there's a lot still to be uploaded to Molo9. Gradually going through and adding it to Molo9 based on what you guys ask for. That's just been the easiest way to get all this done. Okay, I think that's everything. The first one getting updated of all the playbooks is the launch one. And then I'm working on the SEO and the conversion rate optimization playbook. Nakita, no. This is why the dog is not allowed in the office. She's now chewing on the wheels of my chair. Zelotov. And she only speaks Hebrew. Anyways, okay. Let me just open Telegram and see if you guys have any more questions. I think I answered all the questions that you sent in. When the masterclasses become available, what we are going to do is, the process we're going to use is that I'll send out an email with like a 72-hour notice of, hey, we're about to launch this masterclass for 72 hours. You can get it at this price. I will go in and set it to that price. I will not set a discounted timer. And then literally 72 hours later, I will set it to what the regular price is going to be. So you have those 72 hours to just click immediately and purchase an early bird price for the masterclass through the Molo9 website. And after that point, it will go up to the regular price, and that's done. That's kind of how we're going to handle that moving forward. Let's see. I talked to you about that. I talked to you about... So the design and feature upgrades. Of all the ones that have been implemented so far, those have been based on user feedback. So if you have any particular marketing software or programs or any sort of software that you're using that you really like, the layout, the design, the colors, anything, feel free to just respond to any email with screenshots of that software, and it'll go to the virtual assistants who will be able to filter through, because sometimes we get a lot of spam and cold pitches as well. Nakita, if you chew that light, I will kill you. Belgian Shepherd puppies are great, but they're hyper, and if you don't give them a task, they find one, and when they find their own task, it's usually destroying something and not helping you. So I'm going to have to put her back downstairs in a few seconds, but I think I finished answering everyone's questions, so we might be able to cut this short for today. What was I talking about? Shoot. Oh, all the features. Respond to the emails that you get, the regular emails from team@molo9.group with the screenshots, and we will be able to take those into consideration for whenever we have our next design sprint. All right, I think I've answered all of your questions. If you have any more, feel free to drop them into our Telegram channel. Keep in mind that because we are now streaming to 3 locations, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, I am not, we're using a different software, so I don't have 15 tabs open to see the comments under every video. If you want to ask any questions, you have to do so in our Telegram channel. If you don't know, here, hold on, I'll do this so you can see what the Telegram channel looks like. Okay, let me put this on the screen. Okay, so, oh, you cannot see it, just kidding. Let me do, oh wait, now you can see it. Okay, you can only see it if I'd go this way. You can see which crypto channel I'm in. But here it says t.me/Molo9 chat, and that's where you can go to ask any questions that you have. When we're in between live Q&As, we do have a lot of experienced marketers in the group who would be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. All right, I hope that this has been helpful, and we're cutting it short at 25 minutes for today. If you have any questions, I will see you guys back online next week. Enjoy. Have a good weekend. Bye. You are very destructive. Yeah, no, give me a sec. Hi. Yes, I can't pet you with... Nakita, stop it. My dog is not letting me hang up the... There we go. Zelotov.